Okay, real quickly, I'll try to get going. I got to cover two things I'm going to try to cover, and then I'll be here for the next 2 days. We sit down in the back, and I'll talk football, any questions you have. Our quick game, real quick like. Let me tell you how we coach it, and it's very simple. Whatever the formation, the first thing we're going to do, our 0 and 1 route or the hitch route. And we're a little bit different. We'll take 5 steps, which should push us about 8 yards up the field. Okay? We're going to hitch it. And what we do when we hit the 5th step, we turn inside as a receiver. So all we're doing is going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're about 2 steps deeper than most people who throw the hitch. We want to be a little bit deeper. We take the inside receiver and we push him through. We call this area right here the alley to both sides. Normally, they got to put somebody in the alley. So we take the second receiver and push him through whomever's in the alley and then bend him inside. So we just run through his feet. Now, if he's on the hash, we'll run through his feet here. So we just tell him to run through where that guy's feet are initially aligned. Now, we always think X. We tell the quarterback, if the linebacker lines up where a normal tight end would align or inside, you can throw the ball X. If he's wider, you can't. So we go on to one side or the other based on pre-snap look. So if the linebacker's in a walked-off position where a normal tight end would be, you can throw the stop route. If he's any wider, it's Devon. Okay? You guys okay on that? So if this guy right here is past where a normal tight end would align, that route is taken away to X. We always try to think X first, the single receiver. If that route is taken away, then we come to the 2 receiver side and we just look at the strong safety. If he's out, he hooks up at 8 yards right on the inside of his feet. If he hangs, we throw the stop route. Pretty simple. By alignment, we want to throw it to the single receiver. If that's taken away, quarterback does not look over there by pre-snap, it's gone. Now, if they jump in here and on the snap he's throwing it to X and he goes wide, we're not going back over here. We're throwing it up in the stands. You going to him or you going nowhere? You going over here or you're going nowhere? It's none of this and look back over here. No. You go one side or the other. And it's pre-snap and you're not going to look over here and then fan it back over here. Okay, it's one side or the other. All right? Now, we got any kind of 2 deep move. All we're doing on the 2 deep is we're trying to run 2 yards outside the squat corner. If he widens, we're up inside. If he's not, we're around. And if he's in here, we try to throw the ball on the back ear of it's 18 yards down the field. We tell the quarterback to hit him right on the back of the helmet. We'll try to underthrow it slightly. All right? So what we're doing, we're taking 3 steps, and however you want to protect it. It can be here, it can be field goal, it can be whatever, and that's our stop routes. Okay? Now, versus the coverages we're getting, if you're playing a 3-deep team, this is a good route. We don't play against 3 deep. We play against what we call block box post, which is quarters, and reading the releases of the backs. It's not a good route. If you're playing 3 deep, third, this is a great route. If you're not, we don't throw it very much. Okay? You okay on the stop route? Now, all we're telling the quarterbacks, 3 steps. You should be approximately 4.5 to 5 yards deep, depending on his size, back foot, and you should get there in 1.5 seconds, and the ball should be thrown to your first receiver in 1.7 seconds. That's it. Boom, hit the 3rd step in 1.5. The ball's going over here, it's 1.7. If you're coming back over here to a different read to the 2 receiver side, it should be in 1.9. That ball should be moving somewhere. Throw it somewhere. Okay? Don't take a sack. You okay on that? Okay. That's what we call 0. All right, 2's the outcut. 2's the outcut. We're pushing to 8. 5 steps, and what we're doing, we can do it 2 ways. Depends on however you want to do it. We'll use an indicator. All we're doing is our indicator, so our outside foot's back. We're going 1, 2, 3, 4. And when we hit the fifth step, it's at 45 degrees. And when that quarterback sees that fifth step turn at 45 degrees, he tries to throw it through the ear of this guy. So all we want him to do is he's telling the quarterback, when I hit my fifth step, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, let it go. And I'm rolling over the top, and we want to stick it right on the outside of his ear. We don't want to throw it. When you tell him where to throw it, what are you going to tell him? Throw it, I mean, when that foot does this as a receiver, when this foot does this, you send him a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, it's going to hit him right in the face mask when that head snaps around. Now you have a place to throw the ball. You throw it right at him, right through the ear hole. And there's no doubt about where the ball is going to be thrown. Is it too far outside? No, you throw it right through his ear. And we're in business, okay? Quick out. A little deeper than most people, because people read our release. They're reading the three-step drop of the quarterback, 1, 2, 3, and they're playing these quarters where they're hanging the defensive back just waiting on 3 and then Baylor. So we're pushing a little bit deeper to get the corner out of there a little bit more. We don't want them to squat on us. They'll squat on you on 5 and then run. We don't want that to happen. Okay? You okay on that? Now, reads. The same thing. Here's the alley. The alley is the area between the tackle and where X aligns. If there's a linebacker inside without a flat defender squatting, if he is inside of half the distance, and we split here 8 yards from the tackle, if he's no wider than 4 yards, you can throw the out cut. If he's wider, it's done. You go the other side by the alignment, pre-snap alignment. So you're either going here or you're going here. Okay? You okay on that? We good on that? That's pretty simple. Now, if he lines up past half the distance, we go the same read we did on the stop route. Just he replaces the strong safety's feet, turns in at 8, he rolls to the out, boom, boom, boom. Out cut this year, we were 16 for 21. We're not too bad. We feel like you ought to be able to be about 20 for 21 on that, because that's pretty easy. That's an 8-yard throw. Okay, if we got too deep, you fade it, and again, it's not a great route versus too deep because the fades are not percentage throws. We'd rather run something else. Okay, you're playing a lot of too deep. This is a good 3 deep route. It's a good man free route, and it's good versus. That's about it. Okay, so we're giving the quarterback the ear hole on the 5th step. You guys okay on that? And the read. Simple stuff. Try to be as simple as we can. It's very interesting. I just got back from spending 3 days with the Packers. It's very interesting. They're the exact same reads. Exactly. As simple as it can be. I mean, no, not very complicated. It's one side or the other, exactly the same. Okay. Slant. Let me tell you what we're doing with the slant. The slant flat is a good 3 deep route. We're taking 3 steps up the field and going. We tell the quarterback, every route on the quick game, we're thinking the single receiver first. If the alley is open, and it's got to be open, and that means a 2 deep look or a linebacker inside, you throw the slant to X. If it's not, it's taken away. All right? So pre-snap, he knows which side he's going to. All right? If the alley's open, you take it to X. If you're not, you out of it, you're going back to the other side. Okay? Now, what we want to do, if it's too deep, that means the alley's going to be open. They'll reduce down inside. We go 3 and then a slight bend, and we want to try to stick the ball about 8 yards. Okay? Okay? Now, if they put a linebacker in the alley or rotate a safety down, which we get off just some kind of invert, we go to the 2 receiver side. And what we tell them is this, and this is very important. We really throw the moving slant to X, and we throw the still slant to Z. what we like to do is put the tight end or whomever, the inside receiver, in the flat immediately. One step to the flat and work for a depth of 4 to 5 yards. And what we do is we give him an aiming point on the boundary. Find 6 yards deep, and you step here and you start moving toward that 6-yard mark. Okay? We tell Z, push 3 steps and find the flat defender. So now your slant may be here, it may be here, it may be here. You find that guy right there, and you work behind him, no matter how deep he is, and once you get behind him, you settle. So our slant, I mean, it may be a 14-yard slant. You get behind the flat defender. So he goes 1, 2, 3, and he finds it. All right, now once I get in behind him, I turn and try to give the quarterback a stationary target. So he's not hitting anybody on the run. Our guys find trouble hitting somebody running. We prefer to be stationary. So once he crosses behind him, he just settles up and shows him the number and hit him right in the numbers. That's what we do. You okay on that? Now, out of the quarters, we're getting, like I said, what I call box post, where people are playing quarters man, locking man, and the linebackers are read releasing slightly inside. We do a double slant. Take the inside receiver and take 1 step and run through the guy who's covered. Whether if he's inside, he runs right through his inside. If he's here, he runs right through his inside. Just run right through it. Take 1 step up, boom, who's covering you? If he's here, I run right through the inside. If he's down inside, I'm crossing his face. Once you cross his face, settle. Probably not going to get the ball, but settle. All you're trying to do is remove this guy here. We take 3 steps here, and we slide inside, and quarterback, all he's doing is looking quickly at the inside. If he opens up, throw him the ball. If not, throw the slant. Okay, so that's our double slant versus the box post defense. That's a pretty good throw. I mean, people are running quarters on you, throw it, because it's just man. All you've done is they're man. All right? So we just throw the slant. Once you get on your 3rd step, who's the flat defender? If you got a squat corner, that is the flat defender. So we go 1, 2, 3, start inside and turn. He's going to try to come right over your back. We want to be as stationary as we can be. Okay? You guys okay on that? Very simple stuff. Now, what we try to do off this, what you guys need to mess with, is we take 3 steps, start the bend, and then just fly. We just call it sluggo. X, slant, and go. That's our takeoff on that. And again, we bend it to the outside as we go. Depends. If we're on the go, if we're on a go route, we're going 1, 2, 3, bend inside if it's a loose corner, 1, 2, 3, and then if he's inside of you, you're going at 45 degrees. If he's on your hip, you're going straight up the field, and we're trying to bend it to the outside. Now, just quickly, every one of our deep throws for you guys, and then I'll cover it, and I'll cover this anytime. If the sideline's here, we're pretty big. Somebody asked me earlier how we teach the deep throw. We always throw the ball to the outside 4 yards from the boundary. We want the ball to be 4 yards from the boundary. So everybody knows where that ball's going to come down. So if we got a go route here, 3, 3, that ball's going 4 yards from the boundary. If we got a takeoff route, it's going to hit 4 yards from the boundary. So we'd like, if we're on just a go, we'd like the receiver to fade to it, and we put a trash can 4 yards from the boundary. Somebody said, how do you teach the deep route? Put a trash can, however far you want to throw it. Put the quarterback here, tell him to drop 5 steps. Put a trash can down the field at 31 yards or 35, tell him to throw the ball in the trash can. You know exactly the trajectory of the football. the ball lands in the trash can, it's perfect. Okay? Very simple. If it doesn't, we do it. That trash can's on the field. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you say too much air, not enough air, you go horse. Did the ball land in the trash can? Because if it did, it didn't bounce off the side, it came down exactly like you want it to throw. Very simple. You want to teach a deep route, take the trash can, put it 4 yards from the boundary. Come up to Notre Dame, and we got these fancy plastic trash cans that we paid $8 or $9 for, and we put them on here, and all our deep routes, everybody knows where the ball's going to be. But we're not good enough, and we're not fast enough, we're not athletic enough not to give somebody a spot where we're going to throw the ball. Okay? Getting off on that. Going back to the quick game. Okay. Now, our 8 and 9 routes. Our 8 and 9 routes are takeoffs. And let me tell you what we want to do on the takeoff. All we want to do, normally we'll use 8, 10, or 12 yard split. 8, 10, or 12. Depends on the route. If we're on a takeoff, we're cutting it to 8. Because we would like to push, and we'd like to begin to fade. And like I said earlier, the bottom of our numbers are 7 yards, the top of our numbers are 9 yards. We'd like to be at least between the hash and the bottom of our numbers are 11 yards. We'd like to be splitting the difference. We want to cut the split. Because all these receivers, you watch them on TV, and we're as bad as anybody. They want to split wide, run down the field, the corner flips his hips, runs him out of bounds, the throw's inside, and it's terrible. So we tell our quarterback, don't overthrow a deep route. Don't overthrow a deep route and put it 4 yards from the boundary. Receiver, if you get run out of bounds, don't come back to the huddle. You cut your split if you got to line up 2 yards from the guard. And you push and you begin to fade. And if it's underthrown, you're looking over here, you can plant and come back, and it's either a completion or pass interference. But where the interceptions occur are when you're outside the corner and the ball's thrown inside and he picks it. Don't overthrow a deep route, whether it's a go or whether it's a fade, and throw it 4 yards from the boundary, and it's the receiver's responsibility to put himself between there and the sideline. So it's coming over his outside shoulder. You okay on that? And all we do is put a trash can here and go up the field, and we're a pretty good fade team. But that's the takeoffs. And we'll go 3 steps, and all we're doing is trying to pick if you're in the middle of the field, you can go to X or Z. If you're on the hash, it's too far to throw the ball to Z. That's too far to throw. We just tell them throw it to X or throw it out of bounds. Pretty simple. We're going to be as simple as we can. If you're on the hash and you're going to throw the fade over here, you're going to throw the ball 45 yards. We don't have anybody throw the ball 44. We're going to take the simple throw. So if you're on the hash, we prefer to keep it into the boundary as much as we can. If you're in the middle of the field, take the slide. Okay? That's our reads. You okay on that? Okay. Last one is a read. Now, this is by game plan. And again, what we'll do on the quick game, if they're playing a linebacker inside with a 2-deep look, like a lot of people are doing, we get that box post look like we said, we're going to put the inside receiver in the flat and run him on the fade and just read the corner. We're going to take 3 steps, and we're going to read the corner. Corner's back, we throw it in the flat. If the corner's up, we're going to stick it 4 yards from the boundary, about 18 yards down the field, right there. So he can't come over the top and make the play. Linebacker's inside, squat corner, we're going to that. Quarterback knows the man automatically. Okay? Linebacker head up and squat corner. We call this semi. I don't know why we call it semi. He goes to 4 yards and stops, and he runs a slant over his inside, and you just read that linebacker. He backs up, throw to him, he hangs, throw the slant. So our quarterbacks are going to check it on looks. Just get inside the safety, and here we go. That's our quick game. Now, Let me tell you what we're doing on the quick game so you can understand. You guys okay on that? I'll show you this in a little bit. We're doing this. We're doing this. We're taking 3 steps. 1, 2, 3, straight back. Okay? Now, if we're on a total sprint, we're doing the same thing except we're doing it at an angle. If we're reach protecting and turning our backside, it's 1, 2, 3. And again, like I said, we're basically, when we come here, we are throwing to this side. There's no throw over here. When we open hard to this side, it's a one-sided throw. When we're straight back, pre-snap tells us him to him. You okay on that? So if we're going to open here, there's no two-sided throws. It's him or nothing. If we're going to open here, which we'll do, 1, 2, 3, and turn, it's him or nothing. And that's what we tell him. So the quarterback, he knows if we're opening here, you either throw it here. If you want to throw it over here, you better check the protections and put yourself going here. So if we want to tell the quarterback, hey, babe, throw it over here, we'll sprint him that way. 3 steps. Now he knows. There's no read. I'm going over here. So we got a way to tell him where we want the ball to go. We're in the middle of the field, and we said we always want to throw it to X, but we now want to throw it to Y and Z. We'll just say 82, boom. He'll open here, and now he knows the read's over here. Pretty simple. We think it's... So he going 4 yards and turning around. So he'll just go up here 4 yards and go boom. And turn around, and the linebacker, we run a slant over the linebacker. We tell the quarterback, linebacker backs up, throw it to him. He sits, look for the slant coming inside. Pretty simple read.
Coach,
Sir.
that second route down there where you run the fade, and the guy looks like he's running like a type B, like he's on a slant and out.
This one?
No, the one that's second from top, right? That's second for your outside receiver right here.
Right here.
Down where we found it was. Down here. See where
Down.
the fade is?
Down.
See this guy running this real tight V here, the outside receiver?
Right there.
You ever use him in that route, or is that a setup for a fade?
No, I tell you what we do on that is, what we'll do here is if we think we're getting blitz or it's man, but we're not sure, we'll call it hook in or hook out.
Okay, you call that a hook out route.
That's a hook out route. So
What's his steps?
we don't tell him steps. We tell him to run through the outside shoulder.
Yeah, but what's his feet? I mean, how's he adjusting his feet to run that route?
We don't adjust the speed. And the only time we adjust a receiver's foot if we get pressed. And we're in this alignment all the time. If they press us, we go to a balanced look.
Okay, that's fine, but I'm talking about when he plants to go that route.
Oh.
Okay, how's he pointing his feet? I mean, that looks like it's a pretty tough route.
Oh, it is. All we're doing is we're going through his inside shoulder, okay, plant, whirl, and come back.
I see what you're saying.
Okay? Again, all this route right here is if you think it's blitz and you think it's man, and you're not sure, it's a man zone route. If it's man, we set a pick and we throw the fade. If they come out of it in zone, he just plants and comes back out. And this one, if it's man, we throw the fade, we got a pick. If it's zone, he settles inside. We hook in or hook out. And again, Mike Holmgren and I had been friends for a long, long time when he was at Brigham Young and I was at Vanderbilt. That's one of their blitz checks. Same thing we've been doing for a long time. Hook in or hook out. Same terms, same everything. Pretty simple stuff. But very effective. Easy to practice and fun. I think that answers your questions there. Now what we can't do is you can't pick them, so you just kind of have to rub them. You just kind of run by their shoulder and turn inside. You guys okay with that? Now, one thing I want to tell you on the quick game we are doing, that because of this is what's happening. I don't know if it's happening to you, but what's happening on all this 3-step game across the country, people are playing they're playing this crazy coverage, and they're squatting him at about 8. And they're reading the quarterback's 3 steps as he pushes off, and then he's coming out of there to take your quick game away. and they're just squatting the corners, and they're saying, corners, when that quarterback comes off 3 steps, you move. You start coming out of there. And they're trying to take everything you do to take the quick game away. So what we're doing, we call it a flash fake. We're telling the fullback to that side, we're just opening the ball. We're telling, boom, right here, we're showing run. And our eyes are on the same read, and we're going 2-3, plant. And now there's no read for 3 steps because he's seeing run come right at him. All right, and we're just calling it a flash fake. With the quarterback, same eyes, but all we're doing is we're diving the fullback. Diving him here and then blocking, and we're just flashing the ball. And then it's 2-3, and we're setting and throwing to try to stop that coverage. Same reads. We call it 70 flash, 72 flash, 74 flash, or 94 flash. Tells the fullback, you got a flash fake. Our number routes are our 3-step game. Guys okay on that? So we'll do this out of one back. We'll do this out of one back out of these sets here. And we can say 95 flash, boom, boom. 95 double, flash, boom, boom. Just any route you want to run with a flash fake. Okay? Quarterback, all he does is put the ball out and then take his steps. You okay on that? Now, steps of the quarterback, then I'll go the power game. All right, steps of the quarterback for a throw away from him. If you're taking 3 steps away from you, the first step has got to open almost like a midline step going to your back. Then it's 2, then it's 3. So you're almost coming straight back. You can't open here and go 2-3 and get the ball off. So what you've got to be able to do, if you're on any kind of sprint move to your left, it's got to be here, then it's here, then it's here. Okay? That's what we teach. Instead of sprinting 3 steps, you can't get your shoulders around the turn. 1, 2, 3, turn and throw. You can't throw it quick enough. So we teach here, here, and here. All right? So that's our move to the left. You okay on that? Okay. Let's move on. Any more questions about the quick game? And I'll be glad to take any time on quarterback drops. After all this is over, I want to cover these 3 things. I'll be here for the next 2 days. I'll talk anything you want to talk about. And that's how we're going to present it in 2 weeks when we start spring practice. Exactly how you heard it. That's how we're going to present it. Okay? Except we'll show the cut-ups. Very, very simple, and try to make it as simple as we can for the quarterback. So there's no miscommunication. Okay? Worst thing that can happen before I go to the power game of throwing the football. And 2 years ago, we threw 278 passes and had 4 picks. This year, we threw 240-something and had 5 picks. There's a pass that gets intercepted. You can't win. When you turn the ball over, you're not going to win. I don't care what offense you run. If that ball gets picked off, you're going to lose. And if the ball's fumbled on the ground, you're going to lose. I don't care if you're wing T or I or you're in 4 wides. You can't turn the ball over. So we try to do everything we can. When we practice the quick game, and then I'll go over to the power runs, we come out and practice real quick like. We'll come out and we'll do an easy up period where the receiver starts and fades, and there's a little cone 4 yards from the boundary. The quarterback takes 5 steps and puts it 4 yards, and they fade to the ball on air. Easy up. All right, boom. Then they come over here. There's another quarterback, and they come down, and they fade to it. So it's just, and since we only got 5 receivers, they get pretty tired. And so they run a couple, and they're pretty tired, and that's all we have. And we got 2 quarterbacks. And so hopefully we'll have a few more receivers coming in this year, but there were 5 of them. We go easy up, just getting them used to the fade. Then we put a defender or a coach in his face, and we make him shake it and miss. And again, we do that with on the line of scrimmage. We get pressed, we do it with our feet, and then we do it with a step. So we do not cross the line of scrimmage on a press move. We do everything here and then we move. No, we'll take 3, but let's say you're throwing a deep route. You know, just a 5-step launch it. Well, then we'll take 5, but it's still the same fade route for the receiver. Okay, quarterback, if it's 3, it's the quick game, and now it'll be an 18 to 20 to 22-yard throw. If it's a 5-step, it'll probably be 30 to 31-yard throw. But for the receiver, he doesn't know any better. It's the same for him. We're trying to keep him the same, and the quarterback knows 4 yards from the boundary, just different depths. Okay? Then as soon as we do that, we'll do a fake period with the backs. We'll bring the backs over, and we'll do that slip screen. Boom. We'll throw it left and right. Then we'll throw our fullback screen. Then we'll throw our little Texas screen. We do it on air. Just do it where our quarterback can throw what they can throw and catch. Then we bring the tight end over, and we step through it. And that's all we do. We just get them used to throwing the ball. Maybe it takes an 8-minute period, and we'll try to go through as many routes as we can that dumps the ball to the backs. All right, that's on air. You know, and the quarterback will be doing it, and I'll be a defensive end and stand and make him come off to the tight end on the slip, but it's an air stuff. All right, then we go to the receivers, and we go to the quick game, and it's on air to start with. I mean, we're coming down the field hitching, and if you can't throw and catch it on air, there's no use putting a defender out there. And what we do in practice, we chart every time that ball hits the ground. When they come out of practice, it's going to say, Dave Roberts, you caught 31 and you dropped 1. You're going to have something in your hand. Quarterback, every time we throw the ball, it's either caught or not. He's going to have something in his hand when we start practice the next day. You threw 276 footballs today, 84 of them in individual, and 82 were caught, and 3 were dropped, and 4 were bad throws. They're in perimeter, you threw this. So, I mean, they're going to know. And not going to be any doubt. So, hey, if we're not throwing it, there may be a reason because we can't complete it on air. And then if we are, we at least know what the heck we're doing. So we chart every throw. Then we do that with the receivers, and we go this, we go slant, and then we throw the fade. And then we throw the rocket screen. We do that every day. What you just saw, you come watch us practice, you'll see it do it every day. And we'll do it for the next 14 weeks through the season. We start practice that way every day. And then we go play. And then we go, okay? All right, power game. Power game. Let me take you through this. And here we go. Okay. Okay, real quick like. We do about 4 or 5 things. What we try to do is whole objective of what we're trying to do on offense is to try to get to you, try to get one-on-one coverage out here, and when they line up, be as simple as we can and knock you off the football. You know, somebody talked to me, Coach Wallace had talked to me about the zone play earlier, and somebody else talked to me about this. Everybody on these zones are running laterally. We don't want to run laterally. We kind of come off the ball. We're almost back to a man blocking scheme except for some of our stuff, but we want to be able to line up, and if this tackle's lined up here, we want to knock him backwards. We want somebody to go backwards. All right, and what we're trying to do, we want 4 yards. And we'll be happy with 3, but we want 4. We know if it's 40, that's great, but we're unhappy if it's not 3, and we want 4. Now all we tell them is get us 4. Get us 4. Get us 4. Because sometimes these backs want to run 44 before they run 4, and they end up getting -2. So the second thing that loses football games is lost yardage plays. Interceptions are first, and having a back run up there and then go here, and he gets tackled for a 2-yard loss. And now at Notre Dame, for the second 12, we're off schedule. So let's get us something moving forward. So we start out with what we call power, which we just say power right and power left. And all we're doing on that is this. We get a lot of stuff like this. We're telling, let me get my little play sheet here, slide it over, and then I'll be ready to go. We're telling the tackle on power, tight end, first inside through the gap, and you take the outside number of the tackle, and the tackle's rule is on, inside. If he's on, he's coming off the ball and hitting him right smack through the inside number and trying to knock him backwards. The tight end is stepping. He's stepping. He's not stepping at him. He's stepping laterally, and then he's trying to lock on with the tackle, and we're trying to drive him. So the tackle's on the inside number, tight end's on the outside number, and we want to plant this guy about 4 yards down the field, if we can. Sometimes we don't do it very good, all right? We take the fullback, and what we'll do is we'll lead step right through the outside hip of the tackle, and we'll put our head on the inside hip of the end, and we'll try to knock him out of there, and we don't expect the fullback to knock the guy anyway. He's 230, and these ends we're playing are 270. All we want to do is engulf him and roll your hips. We don't expect any movement out of him, just stalemate. That's all we ask. So we step the fullback down, and we run at the hip, and when we see the end, we slide our head to the inside, throw our hips up, and just try to run our feet out of the hole if we can. All right? All right? We tell the guard, play side guard, inside, or if he's on you, it's through the inside and up. So we'll double the nose. We'll punch right here. He's going to take the nose. He's going to stop the nose. Center's rule is backside. He's coming backside versus somebody. All right, we're taking the backside guard, and we're pulling. And when we pull with our guards, we hop step. We don't pull. We do this and go, because they're too big. They can't move fast enough, so we just hop. We get in the stance, and we go, boom, go. That's how we pull. A little different. And then we're coming around on the linebacker here, and the tailback drop step right up the crack of the of the offensive tackle, and we're going to hit it in this gap, or we're going to hit it in that gap. And we're going downhill. Do not run outside. You go in one of two places. Tailback's got a choice, either here or here. One of two places. Get me 4. At worst, get me 3. Anything else, we're good. Okay? Sir. I tell you what. We're not good enough. We started a bounce play and all this stuff. Nah. We're going to line up, and you can bring this thing coming. You can bring 9 of them. We're going to take the inside guy, and we're going to knock the dog out of him, and we're going to run off tackle, because we ain't smart enough to figure out if we're going to run inside or outside. So we said, they're going to wrong arm, and they sure are going to wrong arm us. They sure are. They're going to take, when they talk about wrong arm, they're going to take this guy and bring him flat. Don't matter. That back right now, the full back will make a collision here, and the back will cut it right back up inside. Backside tackle. Backside tackle will be 2 LOS, which is on the line of scrimmage. Because if we got this and this, he got a jab pick to take the guy. So we don't, just our philosophy, the thing we've tried to do on this play is say, guys, you cannot stop this play. You know it's coming. You can squeeze it. You can put him head up. We're going to be better than you are at running off tackle. And that's... We got a 4-3. Here's what we do. We got a 4-3 with a 9 technique in. Okay? He going after the Mike linebacker. He's stepping down. He's punching the help and looking, and we're kicking the end out and coming up through on the sand. Now, if it's a 7 technique, we make an Oscar call. If it's a 7 technique, We're not going to run off tackle versus a lined up 7. We're going to punch and turn out, and then he's going to the front side linebacker, and we're kicking the end out. We're trying to make this as simple as we can. Our feeling is this. Don't make this very complicated. If you're going to come off the football, and again, guys, I know this sounds crazy. We put them down in that 3-point stance, and those heels are up, and there's some people's butts up in the air. Ain't no coming backwards on this stuff. We want to throw, we'll do it from the up position. When our linemen get down, Coach Holtz goes crazy if they're not down and they're not stuck up forward with that butt up in the air and they're getting ready to come off. If that butt's down, he's not a very happy camper. It's the old-timey football. And, you know, what's happened, everybody's playing all this one-back now and running these wide zones. And now we got an innovative offense. We're just going to try to beat you up. And that's what we're going to do. Now,
Coach, up top, how are you accounting for the backside back?
Center, and what'll happen here, the tackle or tight end, as they get this guy moving, one of them just slides off if he can. But I tell you, we don't worry about it because, again, we want movement on that 5 technique. And if we don't come off, what we tell the back is, bring your lunchbox. Because somebody might be clean, and if he's clean in the hole, take it to him. We got that kind of mindset. If he's clean in the hole, let's go, baby. Let's hit it and let's go. So it may happen. We may not account for everybody, but we expect the back. Well, you know, we tell the back, you're a great back. You make one guy miss. Open and taking it back to him. We're drop stepping with the tailback. He's at 7, could be 7.5, boom, and he's coming straight downhill. And the quarterback's coming straight back, handing him the ball, and here we go. So, guys, everybody's got all the answers to this play, but we just keep doing it. And all we're going to do is be good at it and be good. And that's our power football to the tight end. When we power you, we're going to try to power you to the tight end. Yeah, we're going to come up. When we say power, we'll run the inside zone, but it's the old hard dive. We don't zone it anymore. We just hard dive it. But this, we're coming at you. We're coming at you, and all we want's 4. And we say, yeah, sometimes we sure do. To the weak side. Now, let me tell you, we do it to the weak side, but we got a check rule to the weak side. We got to be in this look. Our check rules to the weak side are no to force in, which is this. If you're playing this, we go the other way because we can't block it. No to double eagle. And so to the weak side, it's got to be that look, and we're doing the same thing. We're down to the inside. And what they're doing, people coming back. Center's back. He's back up to the backside. He's kicking him out. He takes him. He's through. And we're off tackle.
Coach,
Sir.
getting back to the strong side power. I know you got the center's head, the inside to protect that weak side blitz by the eagle back there.
Mm-hmm.
What if you tackle, it's a hard pinch inside? He's still got to tackle to the backer or the center?
He gets a hard pinch inside. He's running a track. Our tackles, he's just coming off, and if that guy goes inside, you wash him. And the tight end is stepping here. Now, he's stepping here, and now he's working up. Now, that'll take him up to the back on hit because he'll disappear. If you come down with the tight end, he can't see it. So it's, you guys okay on that? Good stuff. Good stuff. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'll cover that. You guys okay on that? You okay with the power? Okay. Our quarterback will come up under the center. We'll say right. Point, power right, and we call to the left force. All right? Right. Force. All right? It's the power to the split inside. So he comes up and he says, whatever your snap count. Set, blue 14, check opposite, check opposite. Boom, we go the other side. That's what we do. Simple as we can do it. As simple as we can make it.
You talked about nobody plays you straight up.
Correct.
Right? So if you're in a 50-count front, you get lots of folks straight gaps, tackles, pinching, moving. Tight end slide steps and all. If you get that tackle just pinching the linebacker straight and outside the gap, does the tight end bump down?
Yeah, tight end. Tight end, if I'm stepping at the 5 technique right here, tackle, I'm the tackle, and he's in the 5. I'm coming off right now, all right? If he comes across my face, I'm off into it. All right, I got it. Now, the tight end, we're assuming he won't. I'm stepping here because the tackle's gone, and I'm going to try to catch up if I can. Right here. Now, if nothing happens and he's playing a straight 5, we're just taking him back. Now, if he's gone, if he slants into me, and I'm the tackle, and he slants out, I've missed him because there's no lead under control step with this. I mean, we putting these 300-pounders down, and we whoom, and they not moving. Once they step here, and you're 310, and he moves, they know adjust. He's missed him. I mean, it's a runaway train, and so. The tight end better, and that's what we're trying to do. We're not trying to be fancy and pick up everything. We're just trying to come off, so when I come off, if I miss him, he better pick him up because I've missed him. Comes up on the line. He pulls around, and we tell him to turn up the first. We tell him, you got the linebacker, but you turn up first chance you get to turn up, and if you can't hit him, hit somebody. The Cowboys will pull it deep like you said and try to read it on the bounce. We're telling them to pull, pop, pull, come around. If you see a turn up, take it, and if you can't get there, hit somebody. And we're telling the back, you're here, and if it's not there, it's back inside. And here we go. You guys okay on that? Let me run real quick on power and force. I'll show you the play action passes. I think that play averaged 8 yards a carry for us this year, 8-2 or something like that. So, I mean, we're basically going to be able to line up and butt you up. The next one, and again, I'm talking about power runs, and we got two of them, 3 of them. The next one is just a hand to the fullback. We call it base. Real quickly, let me show you what that's all about. And again, guys, let me tell you, when we say power, we have the power and the force to either side. We have 36, and we have the inside zone. And those 3 plays, we're telling the lineman, if you miss him, that's okay. But when you hit him, let's move his butt backwards. So when they're down, I mean, it's down, and that butt's in the air, and your hand, all the weight's on your hand, and when you come off, let's make sure somebody going backwards. Only thing we ask them, if you hit them, let's take them somewhere. And we got 3 plays, and that's all we're doing. I mean, we're saying, guys, when we get in trouble, and we can't do it, we're going to knock somebody off the ball. And we're going to get down, and we're coming. And because, that's just the whole philosophy. So we got 3 that we're gonna do it on. And I'll show you the tape. I got 5 minutes real quick like the next one. You guys remember the old outside veer play that we just base, put the fullback on the outside hip of the tackle, and we come off in your face and we go A gap, B gap, C gap, boom, base, and give him the ball. And all we're doing is just a dead handoff. I know this looks funny, but and we turn people loose on this, and we got this big old fullback, and we say, bring your lunch pail, because somebody may be clean, and if they are, run over. Don't worry about it. And we're coming off the football.
Well, you tailback.
Tailback's just faking the option, but our quarterbacks run 5-2, and they couldn't run an option if you couldn't get them out there. I tell you, our free safety line up at 16 yards and be at the line of scrimmage by the time the quarterback comes off the end. That's how bad is. So, steps for the fullback, we're stepping, boom, right here. What we're going to do is we're going to lead step right at the hip, outside hip of the tackle. Boom. And we're coming downhill. You know, we're not taking the belly step. And we call it 36 base. And we pulled it once and lost the yards, so we don't read, we just give it. Just give it and give it. So if it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and 2, we're coming. I mean, we're trying to just give the football and crank up and go. And that play, I mean, if it's 3rd and 2 or it's goal line, we're not in the T. We're just in our regular offense. That's probably the first play we're going to run on the goal line. Just a straight give and let everybody come off the ball. So that's what we're doing. Let me take 1 minute before we break real quick. Like if you'll walk up, let me just show you the power real quick and this, and then I'll be around. If we got to take 2 minutes?
Yeah, good.